The South Dakota Republican runoff for governor is 2 weeks from today.
Now, some South Dakota voters will be taking part in their third election in under 2 months.
In tonight's Eye on KLN, Jordan DeSmet dives into how the busy June primary ballot and multiple runoffs impact voter turnout.
Absentee voting for the Republican gubernatorial runoff has been ongoing for over a month. It's what Brad Zell of Sioux Falls had just wrapped up doing when we caught up with him.
I'm retired, so it's not a hard thing to do.
Zell also voted in the June 2nd primary and Sioux Falls mayoral runoff, but he says voter fatigue has not hit him.
I think it's a very important responsibility as a citizen to get out and say what you want to say by voting.
Zell says the research required to make an informed decision is worth it.
All of us are interested in the future for the most part, and so that's why it's important to do the research, figure out which way they may lead us or not, and then make your choice.
Retired University of South Dakota political science professor Michael Card says when researching municipal and school board candidates in Vermillion before the June primary, he found it hard to find the information he was looking for.
So it was a little challenging because it does take time, and that's how voter fatigue fits into that. And if I hadn't taken the time, I wouldn't feel like this is the candidate that I would have wanted, and I probably would have rolled off, as we call it, and not voted in those elections.
Card says voter fatigue can happen when people get tired or overwhelmed with the amount of time it can take to research or register to vote.
You have to prove who you are, prove you're a citizen, and not everybody has handy access to those documents.
Card expects voter fatigue to impact the upcoming Republican gubernatorial runoff between Governor Larry Roden and Aberdeen businessman Toby Doden. They were the top 2 vote getters in the primary, beating out Congressman Dusty Johnson and State Speaker of the House John Hanson.
I think voter fatigue will occur, that especially if your candidate is now out, you may not see the reason to vote. I think the other aspect is on July 28th, I'm not thinking of voting. I have nothing in my pattern of activities that I'm used to voting. That's not really voter fatigue, other than it's one more election. I've got to figure out who these people are. This isn't who I wanted to vote for, so now I have to learn about these people if I'm interested in that.
Card also shared the potential downfalls of voter fatigue.
Only the diehard supporters of a particular candidate end up voting or on a particular issue, because we have ballot issues as well. And only the people who want it to win or oppose, and it ends up not representing what the general public wants.
And what voters like Zell and Camille Alec want is for you to get out and vote.
If you don't vote, I don't think you really have much of a right to complain about stuff, because again, the mayoral one's a very good example how just a few votes separate candidates that people were very strong about both ways.
Because that's all we have. I mean, sometimes I feel overwhelmed with what's going on in our country, and all I really have is my vote. So I respect that.
Absentee voting runs until Election Day on July 28th. With Eye on KLN, I'm Jordan DeSmet.
To combat voter fatigue, Card says it's important for more media to inform voters on each candidate.
Now, he also suggests getting your sample ballot ahead of time. Only registered Republicans can vote in that upcoming runoff.